All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, or Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who still rule well, and peace and blessings and safety to the Lord's elect. All right, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth, pushing this word in humility and sincerity as commanded by Yahweh Bahasham Shai. And this lesson is going to be entitled How Israelites became to look like white people, or an example of how Israelites, because you're going to have Israelites, and many of them, hundreds of thousands of Israelites that look like other nations, okay? And that's something that these other camps, they refuse to acknowledge or refuse to promote, but that is the reality. That is the truth that will set us free, okay? And well, that is a part of the truth that will set us free. And so I was reading this book here. You see the title there, Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers. And I'm on page 123. And I'm just going to read a couple points in this, and we're going to get a couple scriptures, because we know that according to Bible prophecy, you're going to have Israelites that look like the other nations. According to Bible prophecy, you're going to have Israelites that look like all kindreds, all peoples, nations, and tongues, because the Israelites were scattered to the four corners of the earth and amongst every single nation on the earth, all right, and in every country on the earth for the purpose of the fulfilling of the curses. So it says here, I'm going to start here at point 31. It says, especially dark were the Jews of Spain and Portugal, okay, because you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Seminole, Native American Indians, you are indeed the Jews, the Israelites. It says, these Portuguese Jews were very dark, said Pritchard. The Duchess de Ambrentes, wife of Napoleon's ambassador to Portugal, said that, quote, the Jew, the Negro, and the Portuguese could be seen in a single person, meaning the Jew, the Negro, and the Portuguese is all one person. Okay, you would see a man who would be a Portuguese man, who would be a Negro man, who would be a Jew, because we are the Israelites. It says, so dark were the Jews, especially of Portugal and southern Spain, that many whites thought all Jews were black or dark, which that's the truth, because you have something called Jewish people. They're not actually Jews. Okay, but all the actual Jews, the real Jews, they are brown skin, black or dark. Now down here it says, many of the Jews who were banished from Portugal by John II. So keep that in mind, these Israelites who were banished from Portugal by John II settled in the West Indies, okay, Jamaica. So a lot of those people of the West Indies Islands, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, a lot of those people, they came from that region of Portugal, and they were banished from that area by John II. So it says they settled in the West Indies. John Bigelow, who visited Jamaica in 1850, saw the descendants of these Jews. So yes, you people of the West Indies, you are the descendants of those Jews, those very dark-skinned Jews that were throughout Portugal and Spain. It says, who visited Jamaica in 1850, saw the descendants of those Jews and said they were Negroid. They were Negroid. It says the Eastern Jews who settled in Austria, Poland, Russia were Negroid too. So you have Israelites in Austria, Poland, Russia, man. And we're going to read another excerpt. It tells you that those Israelites, those men that had babies by those women, those babies and their children soon began to mix in with the white population. In other words, you have Israelites now that go back to the seed of a Negro who look like Germans, who look like your typical Russian, who look like your typical Polish man. And this is why the Lord said, let's go to the book now. St. John 7:24. Judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment. So that's why the Lord told us to judge not according to the appearance, because there's a whole timeline of history and scattering and mingling and dispersions and intermixing and intermarrying and interracial, dating and relations that have taken place for hundreds of thousands of years. And now we have to go according to the Spirit. That's in the book of Romans. Let's get that next. So that's why we can look at a person who will look like a white boy or a Ishmaelite or a Chinese, and we could say, nah, that's an Israelite with confidence, because now it's a spiritual thing, and if the Spirit is dealing with you, then you can discern these things. Romans chapter 8 and verse 16, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. Right, so the Spirit is the Holy Spirit, which is the scriptures. That Spirit beareth witness with our spirit, and we can correlate that to other individual spirits to decipher whether or not they are the children of God. Now, ultimately, the angels are going to do all the separating, the wheat from the tares. But we have a good idea. It says the Eastern Jews who settled in Austria, Poland, and Russia were Negroid too. Count Adam Gorowski of Poland, who visited the United States in 1857, said the Jews of his country strongly resemble American mulattoes. Numbers of Jews, he said, have the greatest resemblance to the American mulattoes. Sallow complexion, thick lips, crisped black hair. Okay, so this man was from Poland. He came to America. He saw the Negroes. He saw Jake here, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and he said that they look like the Jews from his country. Now here we're on page 131. It says the First World War, which is World War I, brought considerable mixing principally between the French Negro soldiers and German women of the Rhine, as was discussed in the volume 1 of Sex and Race. The offspring of these are gradually disappearing into the white population. So there it is right there. Okay, you have a lot of Germans, people. That's why you got a GMS Germany. Okay, but you have a lot of Israelites that were in Germany, that were in the French army, that mated, had sex, okay, popped the German women, which the German women, they loved the Israelite men. So it said that their offspring of the offspring of these are gradually disappearing into the white population, meaning you're not going to be able to know that they come from a black man. It says German women who, from what I've seen and read of them, are very fond of colored men, welcomed American Negro soldiers with open arms in 1945. Miss Alice B. Shaw, U.S. Army Club Director, who was stationed in Bremen and Bavaria, said, I have been in Italy and France, and I have seen the success of the colored soldier with women. But never in my life have I seen the trial of our boys as the Germans. The French and Italians showed a little reserve, but not the Germans. So these German women, they was thirsty, man. They was thirsty for the Israelite man over there. So now listen to this. Ollie Stewart, Baltimore, Afro-American, July 3rd, 1943, estimated that there were 3,000 children born in Germany to Negro fathers, with an additional 1,000 yearly. This was 1943. 3,000 black men had babies with German women. That was just in 1 year, and then 1,000 each year after that. So that lineage of Jake up in Germany, it's there. But remember what he said. He said the offspring of these are gradually disappearing into the white population. You see, so you're not going to know which ones are Israelites based on their appearance. That's why it's a spiritual walk, and the Lord is dealing with spiritual men. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 3. That then Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all nations whether the Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua thy God have scattered thee. You see, so the Lord have gathered is gathering us because he had scattered us. And he scattered us amongst all nations. Okay, and we're reading about that scattering right here. It tells you that we were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. That word mingled is irab, which means to intermix, intertwine, you know, have relations with. And that's what we have been doing for thousands of years, man. You know, so you have to have discernment. Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds around about her are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. Yes, so the Lord's heritage is like a speckled bird. But the birds, the birds represent the other nations that are round about us. The other nations have devoured us. But now the Lord has given us this truth and we're on the up and up. But the point of me reading this is obviously that the Lord's heritage is a speckled bird, okay? Which is a bird that comes from many different colors, from black to brown to white. Okay? Get that through your head. Get that through your head. The Lord said that Ephraim is a cake not turned. Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim have mixed himself among the people. Right, and best believe that you had a certain northern kingdom people in these armies and in these ranks up in Europe dealing with these women, you know, all throughout the world. It says Ephraim have mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. So because Ephraim mixed himself among the people, they are a cake not turned, which means that, like when you're making a pancake, before you flip it the first time, one side is going to be brown. That's the bottom half that's been cooking. And the top half is going to be a lighter complexion, like the color of this page here. So that's that cake not turned. Ephraim, so-called Puerto Ricans, can go from which really just represents the northern kingdom as a whole. They can go from a dark brown to a light, whiter complexion, as if a cake was not turned. And this is because of the scattering. This is because of the diaspora of the Jews that were mingled among the Gentiles. Okay? And this is how we lost our way, you know, being mingled amongst these other nations, you know. Let me show you some other images here. It says offspring of Negro fathers and white mothers. And what country is this? Germany. Okay. What time period are we reading about? 1940s. Okay. It says offspring of Negro fathers and white mothers. Upper right of Moroccan father. World War I. Look, there you go again. Children of Negro soldiers by white mothers. And this happened countless amount of times. Okay? Countless amount of times. Now I'm going to just... It says, according to an estimate made by German authorities, September 19, 1949, there were 11,000 illegitimate children born to American fathers in the American zone, of which 8.5% were Negroes. So 8.5% of 13,000 children were Negroes. It says the estimate does not include illegitimate births or births not reported to the authorities. On my visit to Germany in 1950, I saw a much association of Negro soldiers and German women. Some of the girls were not only quite good looking, but had an air of culture. Some of the mothers were quite young. One I saw was only 14. Why? Because that's the age where a woman is given to a man. It says she had a mulatto child of which she was very proud. So, you know, that's it. And this book also goes into the tares, okay, about Edomites taking Negro women and dealing with them. So because of that, this is why you have the parable of the wheat and the tares that Yahushua taught, to give us the understanding of what's going on right now. This is St. Matthew chapter 13 and verse 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. And that man is Yahweh, the good seed is the Israelites. It says, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Right, and the enemy is Esau, Edom. And the men sleeping is representing the Israelites losing their heritage via the captivities, mainly the captivity amongst the enemy, which is the Edomites. And Esau sowed tares among the wheats. He planted his seed amongst our women. But on the flip side, you also have Israelites that planted their seed amongst the heathen. Okay? It says, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheats and went his way. Meaning what? He sowed tares among the wheats. Esau, during slavery, he would pop the black slave and then put his own black boy son or black woman daughter into slavery right along with him. So he went his way. He got her pregnant and then he went his way. Thus, why did he do this? Because he wanted to mix in a wicked seed amongst the righteous seed, and he didn't want us to be able to tell the difference or to be able to recollect the lineage. Okay, so we would not know who is truly a part of our nation or not. And basically he sowed a seed of wickedness amongst our nation, as if he had to do that. He didn't have to do that because we was already heavy under the curses. St. Matthew chapter 13 and 26. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the household came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. Then the servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go up and gather them? He said, Nay, least while ye gather up the tares, ye root also the wheat with them. So the Lord is allowing this mixing to go on. He's allowing this mixing to go on. You know, he's not telling us to go and, take action and stone people and, put people to death that we think is Edomites. No, he said, we just relaxing, man. We chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, waiting for the prophecies to pop off. He say, let them both go together. It says, St. Matthew 13:29, but he said, Nay, least while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheats with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. The harvest is a time when Yahweh Shai coming to bring destruction and to gather his elect. Let both grow together until the time of the harvest. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, which are the angels, gather ye together first the tares, which are the Edomites that look like Israelites, and bind them in bundles to burn them, and gather the wheat into my barn. Yep, bind them in bundles to burn them. That's going to be in a nuclear destruction, nuclear fire. So Lord, when this is edifying, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Baruch HaKodash, the Barnish, the Apostle, Elder, Great Millstone, Kwame Shalom.